Good evening, and thank you for coming to tonight's retreat ceremony. My name is Brad Stanowitz. Replacing this 65-year-old flagpole is my Eagle Scout project. Before I begin lowering the flags for the final time on this flagpole, before it is removed tomorrow and erected sometime over the next several months. I'm going to tell you the story of Walter Keyes and why it was erected in the first place. But first, please silence your phones, remove hats, and stand if able to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Scout salute. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we begin telling the story of Walter Keyes, who is the person this memorial and flagpole is dedicated to, I would like to acknowledge Walter's family, who have been very supportive of my project. I know many of them are out of town, but for those that are here, can you please raise your hand?
I didn't make it.
Oh, that's a shame. To give you an idea of how far back this memorial and this history goes, it's a story of three grandsons, one who's 85 and the other two who are all 77. They're all Walter's grandsons, they all grew up as in the island, and they were all actually scouts. So thank you very much, even if you aren't here, for your support. Walter Keyes was born in January 12, 1882 in St. Louis, Missouri, all the way in the south. And he began his working career in the Army, where he would serve in the First World War and Spanish-American War. And after retiring from the Army, he decided to move to the island in 1919. He quickly became a successful businessman, starting off by just being a chicken farmer, and he became a very important community figure as well. He became the first person to deliver the Seattle dailies to people on the island, so helping to integrate the island area into Bainbridge or Seattle. And he would create the first taxi service, then making the Motors Company in 1926, which would become his main successful business and what he's mostly known for. Some of you guys might know about it. It's down in Winslow. And he also built Key Lane's Bowling Alley, which served as a community hub when there was nothing really else like it on Bainbridge Island. He lived on the island for 40 years, and during it, he worked very diligently in the community. He was on the Chamber of Commerce Transportation Committee. He had become a critical contributor to the growth and development of the island, such as the roads and cars, where he basically helped transfer the island from being a bunch of mosquito fleet or boat accessible settlements all over the island into a big integrated city with roads with people with cars that he sold to drive on. He was known for a lot of unexpected and unneeded favors to other people on the island, such as cashing checks when there was no bank on the island or near it, saving people a lengthy trip to Seattle. And despite his gruff and assertive manner, he got a big reputation for just helping out those in the island in need. A lot of people who were just trying to start a new career or business would get financial or private support from him, and he was just a really cool guy in helping everyone around in developing the community in the island. Sadly, he died of a heart attack at 75 years old after living on the island for 45 years in 1957, working in one of his business when he died, which is now Island Fitness near the corner of Winslow Way and Madison Avenue, little over there. And after his death, Islanders banded together to honor him. They all started raising privately to get him this memorial and very expensive flagpole. And just generally trying to honor the person who had done so much for the island, developing it, its businesses, and just helping the community when it was young and just a frontier island. When he was dead, his obituary was front page news of the Daily Times here, for those of you who read it. And a lot of people had stuff to say about it. Some local government figures, some congressmen from Bainbridge, and just a lot of people who were very happy for him helping them out. To read a few quotes off, the man who had done the most for the island in 2 decades once said, "No man has done more for the community without fanfare than Walt Keyes," said another. and the man who hustled at everything he did, were only a few of the comments made to describe the work of him. Mr. Keyes was a tireless and lifelong servant leader to his country, community, and people. His story is a great example of why we pride ourselves on simply being Americans. Because of people like him, he lived in values we pride ourselves on as Americans and lived them every day of his life, inspiring those around him and making real change in his community and people's lives. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now begin retreat. Please remove hats and stand a fable. The flags being lowered tonight are the first flags that will be flown on the new flagpole later this year once installation of the new flagpole is complete. Scout Jackson Upsall, sound retreat. Put your hand over your heart if you're not in uniform. Scout salute. Thank you again to the Keyes family, Washington State Ferries, and all the other contributors who helped make this project possible. I could not do this without a team and community effort. This was a lot of money to raise. And as an additional improvement to the plaza, and as a little addition to my replacement work, we have a group working to create a new memorial for Mr. Keyes. This memorial is just as old as the flagpole, and we don't feel it's quite adequate to honor all he did for the island, for the community, and just how much he isn't remembered. I feel we need to give him a step up. We would like to make this another community project. Some of you may have noticed the banner over there. That's a link to a GoFundMe. Our goal is to get 1,000 donations of $10 each to help fund the memorial, which will include a bust, a plaque, and generally something detailing all he did for the island. We hope it'll share his legacy. And that about concludes our retreat ceremony. Tomorrow this flagpole will be removed and installation of the new flagpole will occur over the next several months. Thank you for your support, patience, and coming tonight. Troop dismissed.